Hello. If you have been following my channel for a while, you might know that one system that I like a lot is this one here, Cairn. Cairn is really great. It's a good system, um, simple rules, very brutal the combat, and I like it. I have played this solo several times. I had some group sessions also using it, and yeah, it's great. I like it so much. But there are a lot of other systems that use Cairn as baseline, and they build on top of Cairn, or maybe sometimes it's just some stuff, and they are basically Cairn. And one of them that I have found, I think about a year ago, or maybe even a little bit more time ago, long ago, is this one here. Actually, this one here, Plight. Plight is awesome, and I also there is a printed version available for this, but I have printed it myself. But this system is also so good, and I will tell you why. If you like Care, you will like it definitely. But there are more stuff here that I think it's great. So I would like just to go through this PDF. I don't think it's a problem because the system is free, so you can download it on itch.io. And if you want to buy a physical version, it has a link there also, and you can just click there and buy. I think it's from Lulu, if I'm not wrong, but just check the itch.io. I'll try to remember a link in the description. Yeah, but let's just go through it. It's way better if I just show you guys. So first illustration, it's not AI, it's really artists, real artists that did the illustration. So this is something that I know people complain sometimes when it's AI arts there. It's not the case here, so it's fully illustrated by human people. So, and they are great also. So we have the credits, and then of course the inspiration. So it is inspired by Cairn, Forbidden Lands, Into the Odd, Ironsorn, Knave, and Morkborg. What amazingly, just great systems here. And yeah, the creator here is Timothy, and the illustrations is by Daniel. I could try to say the surnames: Timothy Fogati, yeah, and Daniel Comesi. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, but as you can see, if my English is not it's not so great. Yeah, but Plight is I would say unique because here you can see the contents. Okay, so we do have, of course, the Cairn rules. They are here with some slight differences, very slight differences. But we also have rules for traveling, delving, warfare, and we have even solo rules. Yeah, and oracles, a lot of them. And they are awesome. So in this single book, you have everything that you need to play solo without paying anything. Because as I said, it is free. So one can use it to play Cairn solo. And second edition has additional rules. It has traveling rules and delving, I think so also. I'm not sure. I don't think it has solo rules, for instance. I don't think it has. But Plight has it. And as I said, it has, let me check, how long? 2023. Yeah, so it's a year ago. Yeah, it has 1 year and it has everything. So it's not so old, but it's not new. Cairn second edition is newer than this book. But let's go back to the PDF. So introduction. It has a setting. Of course, you are free to use any setting, but it has a setting here that basically there was this queen. The queen now is dead. The people, the nations, like the dwarf nations, elven nations, and the human people, they are now on like in this imminent conflict that might happen anytime. It's like no one trusts anyone anymore. Yeah, so there is this tension in the air, so we can use it, and I think it's really it's simple, and it has several opportunities for the GM to explore it. Yeah, I don't think it has a map or something like that. It's just like more the setting, the background setting, but it's not fully defined. So there are several adjustments that the GM can do, or even the solo player if you're playing solo, and you can do it by yourself. And I think this is also nice just to have some I would say baseline, and you can build on top of it, or you can build on top of it. So how to play and the rules and so on. As I said, if you know Cairn, it's basically the same rules. We have the tables to generate stuff, but we do have races here. As I said, in the setting we have dwarves, we have elves, you have humans. So as soon as you roll your attributes and you roll your hit protection, you can choose your species. Okay, I say race all the time. Yeah, I'm an old guy that used to play old systems, and we used to say race. But now in this game, actually, they say species. So dwarf, elf, and human. And then after you roll your attributes and after you have everything defined there, then you apply the modifications to your character sheet. If you're a dwarf, you have more strength, less intelligence, and elf more dexterity, less strength. Human has more intelligence and less dexterity. So just to balance the races, but yeah, the species, sorry. Then the same tables as you have in Cairn, you can roll features, you can roll traits, start with equipment, but you can see here that we have already one difference here. The armor here, it's done differently. So if you see a brigantine armor gave us 0.25 armor. What does it mean? Very briefly, you have several bits of armor that you should equip in your character in order to have your armor point. So if you have a brigantine .25 and you have something else that is also like a leather cap, also .25, and you might have all the pieces, then you just need to sum them up, and then you have your number. So you might have, for instance, one armor if you have several pieces equipped. But what happens if I just have, for instance, a chainmail? It's a 0.5 armor. It happens that I do not have any value because it only counts when you have a integer. So if it's 1, you have 1 armor. But if it's 1.5, it's just 1. If it's 2.25, it's just 2. If it is 0.75, it's 0. You know what I mean? So yeah, and this is the major difference in the game, in this game. So of course they also had to change a little bit the inventory. You can carry more items here, yeah, but it doesn't affect actually the game because as you need to have more spaces to keep like bracers or gloves and cap and or helm and the armor itself, and maybe even for your legs some protection. Of course, you would need to have more spaces, but they this here, and I think this is really smart because we don't have rules here in Cairn, and they don't want to make it a little bit more complicated because Cairn is simple, and I think Cairn is good because it's simple. If we try to bring too much, I think it would break the game in the end. But what I mean is there is no rule to tell you, oh, you hit the head or you hit the arm. So there is no rule for that. But I think it's great to imagining that, okay, I have a armor that protects my chest and also maybe a helm. And if I have these two that give me one armor and attack is reduced by my armor, I can imagine that it just hit my chest, or maybe a part of my helmet just protect me from this attack. So I like it. I like it. If you don't like it, you can just remove it. But at the beginning, it was a little bit difficult to me to. I'm not sure if I like it or not. But as I play it, I think, yeah, it's smart and I like it. Then you have trinkets stable as usual in Cairn, that you can use this to bring some inspiration to your character. As you have rolled features, traits, and so on, then you can also see, okay, this could be bring some flavor. Why do I have, for instance, ornate key? Does it open something? Who gave it to me? Yeah, so it's really nice. And as a GM, I like to have this kind of stuff to bring some new ideas to the table. Then you roll your gear also, and you have gear and tools, and a bonus item that could be another weapon. It could be a helmet, a shield, another gear, tools, whatever. So you can roll this, and you will have an additional item. Once you have everything done, you have your character, great. Then you go to the rules, and the rules they are simple. Scared. So you just roll the 20. If you would like to try something that is risky, you just roll your attribute that makes more sense. For instance, if you try to climb some stuff, maybe it is dexterity or maybe strength. I do not know. The GM decides for that. That you roll, and you should roll under your attribute. As in Cairn, you have advantage and disadvantage here. There is some time definitions here for turn, round, and watch. We use this watch stuff mostly for the traveling and delving actions. Yeah, it might require a whole watch to do something, as it is strongly inspired by Forbidden Land, and Forbidden Land has an amazing mechanic for hex crawl. It has this watch times or slices, and basically you have morning, afternoon, evening, and night, as we do have in Forbidden Lands. And depending on the action that you are doing, you can just spend like a whole watch by hunting, for instance. Then the healing and rest, and you have short rest, long rest, full rest. So there are more stuff here as far as healing is concerned. Your inventory, you can carry your strength plus 10 items in your inventory. It works exactly as the same, so you can mark fatigue in the inventory. It has the explanation about the armor rating. As I said, each piece of armor equipped has a value that contributes to the character total armor rating. When added together to determine, yes, it is. They are, and fractions of point are disregarded. So exactly, not exactly as I said, but I think you got the idea when I tried to explain it, right? So wealth and treasure and hirelings, reactions, and so on. So it's amazing art in this small book. The combat, we roll initiative by checking out dexterity. So if the players succeed in that dexterity check, they act first, then the enemies, and then the players that have failed in the dexterity check. And all the actions that you can perform. There are some, I think, for more explanation, not too much explanation, but there are some examples of minor actions, for instance, like shove, draw your weapon. Sometimes we do not have this. Rules for dual weapon, we have this on Cairn also. Yeah, Cairn is so simple for those that are new to Cairn and haven't read this yet. You don't roll to hit, you just roll the damage. So if you say I'm going to attack that guy, I just roll the damage, and that's it. And if more people are attacking the same target, everyone rolls their damage, and then the highest damage is the damage that we should apply to that target. And if you are fighting with two weapons, for instance, you roll the damage dice for both weapons, and you keep the highest. So it's a very fast way to resolve the combat, and of course it's also very dangerous for the players because you are going to suffer damage unless, of course, you have armor. Yeah, but in this case, the armor, the maximum value that you can have is 3. So if a guy is hitting you with a long sword, if I'm not wrong, the damage is 1d8, and you have armor 1. The only way that you can avoid damage is if you have these 3 rolls, just 1 in the d8. Yeah, but you have your hit protection, and I also like this. I will not explain Cairn here again. You can check just my previous video that I did about Cairn, and then you understand the rules better. But just download Cairn or even this book here and just read it. It's really small, just few pages. Yeah, you learn it. It's really awesome. We have the marks. Once you have, if you die, yeah, not die, but if you are unconscious and for some reason you roll, if the damage makes you, if you suffer damage and it makes you to have HP 0, hit protection 0, then you just use the damage that you took. Like if you have 3 hit protection and you get 3 points of damage, and you go to 0, then you check here 3 breathless, and this is what happens to you. If it's 5 damage, if you have 5 hit protection, you get 5, and then your hit protection goes to 0, exactly 0, then you have this here. And then this is the way that your character can learn from the experiences in combat. Then there is a combat example here, amazing illustration. That reminds me of Forbidden Lands, yeah, an OSR book. So I really like the illustrations in this book. Some explanation about the magic system, and there is a Cairn disaster. I love this. I love this. Everyone can cast magic here as soon as one has a spell book. So there is no mage. If you are a mage, you have a spell book. If you want to build a mage, but actually every spell book holds 1 spell. So if you want to have more spells, you need to carry several spell books, and they are not so are they bulky? I'm not sure. I don't think they are, but they require that you hold them with your 2 hands and so on. So it's not so easy, but it's a really nice way. And when you go back and see and read old comics or see old movies, when the guy needs to cast a spell and he needs to spend some time casting the spell, holding the books and reading the descriptions and so on. So that's the idea here, and I like it a lot. It's the same, of course, for Cairn, but I think there are more explanation here, and I really like this Cairn disaster because I love when one tries to cast a spell and they fail. Yeah, let's see what happens. Exactly as we have in Forbidden Lands, and I actually, yeah, there was one player in my campaign. I am the GM, and he just died. Killed himself, and it was really funny to see this. I like it. So spellbooks, scrolls, and relics, there are some differences between them. It is explained here. Some tables, if you want to roll something randomly, you can just roll here and then build some kind of effect or magic or whatever. I like these tables a lot. Then there is this some spells that are already here, then you can use as they are. 100 spells if you would like. Okay, I found a spell book. What is the spell here? So I can just roll 1d 100 and then see here. This art, I like it. Yeah, traveling. So traveling is one rule that I like it, also because we don't have it in the original Cairn. There's no rule for that, and here we do have rules, but also we have hex scroll and even hex scroll generators. So I will show the tables afterwards, but it's you have the watches, as I said. So you have 4 watches per day. You can travel 2 watches, and of course you need to rest at least during 1 watch. And there are some actions that you can perform. Everything is explained here, and there is this travel difficulty also, that you can just roll a d6 and to see if something happens. So yeah, let's see. I have an encounter. I have a clue about something, or just we are just tired because the travel was really tough, or something, or spoil. Yeah, so we lost something. The weather might change also, or maybe nothing happened. So I like it. I used to, in old OSR systems, usually I just roll 1d6, and if I roll 1, I have an encounter, and the other numbers, they do not bring anything. But I like this idea of having more options, more things happening, because sometimes, okay, an encounter doesn't mean that is a thing happening, right? It doesn't need to be a combat encounter. It could be that we find someone in the road, someone neutral, or someone even good that could help us. Yeah, but in the end, it's just we meet something, or we find something like a point of interest. But here, no, here we have more stuff. So I like this fatigue option, and even the spoil option. Yeah, it's really nice to see it. And then we have some tables, like weather table, depending on the if it's spring or summer, autumn, or winter, depending on the season. Yeah, depending on the season. We also have the terrain generator. It's really good. You just roll 2d6s, and of course, due to the bell curve, you are going to be more in mountains, plains, forests, but it might be the case that you roll a city or a lake, and there are some explanations here on how to apply this stuff. And then we have the activities here that we can do. We can delve, we can explore, forage, hunt, sleep. The delving. If you find a dungeon, what should you do? How should we treat this? And actually, in the delving, I just said this wrongly. We don't use watches. We use rounds, so 10 minutes. And then we have darkness, searching, terrain. Once again, we have another table. It's not the same. It just seems like the same, but actually it's a little bit different, because we have encounter, we have clue, fatigue, as we have in the traveling, but we also have darkness, and the area is trapped, or nothing happened. And now that I'm seeing it, I can see that even the layout of this table is very similar to Forbidden Lands, and I like it. And then we have some kind of traps table that we can use. Warfare, this is really great also. As I said, the word, at least the setting that is proposed here at the beginning, shows us that war might happen. Yeah, so we just roll here from time to time, and then see, okay, these event happen. So maybe the elves, they here says, for instance, if I roll here, elves religious practice have spread in popularity among other species. Human and dwarven leaders are skeptical of the mysticism, and NPCs will avoid conversations with elven PCs. So this is the tension that you can build in the world. So if you are an elf now, it might be the case that humans will not talk to you anymore because of this thing happening. And yeah, so there are several suggestions here. So this is something that I like it, because it brings tension to the game. And as a GM and as a solo player, actually, I like to have things randomly generated. And so it's because I am surprised also when something like this happen, and I like it. I like it. I roll it and I see, whoa, okay, so how it should affect my characters, or how it should affect my players. I haven't played it in a group, as I said, just Cairn, but not Plight. But I would like to try it with a group and try to use the tables. I'm just trying to find people to do it at this moment. It's tough. So, and then it's explained a little bit more. You can just roll when the war is going to start. Similarly to Morkborg, It's written there in the first pages that it is also inspired by Morkborg, and then we also have this table here, and this is, well, this is also great. I like these tables. I like this art. Yeah, it's a really good game, and it's free, man. I don't believe that it's free. So we have market, so it's, how much it costs, these are there. It's only copper pieces. There is no copper, gold, silver, platinum, electrum, whatever. No, it's just copper. And the damage also. So you can see when we talk about damage, we always have D8, D10, D6. I think only whip gives a D4. So it's really dangerous outside, yeah, when in combat, because you, as I said, you don't roll to hit, you just roll the damage. So it's dangerous. If you would like to start a combat, you should think twice. Yeah. So armor, and then we have the values here. To build your armor rating, you need to sum up these values here. So 0.25. So as you can see, we have pieces for the chest, and then you have, like, this is a shield, this is a helmet, this is for the legs, and you can see the body part here. Of course, we cannot have two chest pieces, of course, so you have just one for your body, another one maybe in your offhand, for your legs, for your hands, and I like it. I like it, and it's really nice that you can imagine that maybe you don't have money to have a full plate armor. No, you don't have it. It's too expensive. So maybe I just have like a leather cap, but maybe a chainmail, and yeah, just some parts that do not combine when we look at it. And I think it reflects more a little bit the reality as in the medieval ages, where people just have random pieces. When you, I see pictures, of course, the nobles, they used to have the full set of armor, but the foot soldiers, they, yeah, just some stuff that they could find. When I see the museums, those pieces, they are really, I can imagine this, and I like it. I like it. It's a little bit more complicated to build the armor rating, but I think it brings some value to the game. Man, I love this. Yeah, really great. Goods. So you have goods, and then a bestiary. For the bestiary, just some animals. We don't have. I think in Cairn we just have few monsters. We don't have too many monsters. Cairn also has a bestiary. It's available on Amazon. It's really cheap, and you can also, if I'm not wrong, check the Cairn SRD. We also have plenty of options there. But Plight has its own bestiary. Of course, as it is based on Cairn, you can use any Cairn bestiary because it's compatible. But the creator here decided to put his own bestiary in this game. And here we have even an encounter table. So if you would like to roll it randomly, you can just use this table. I would prefer to have like a table for every environment, like forest encounters, mountain encounters, and so on. But yeah, I can build this myself. This one is already useful. So you have Moeba, demon, dragon, elemental, dwarf, elf, giants, goblins, and yeah, so on. So several creatures here that we can use in our games. How to create an encounter? You can create, and it gives you some idea how to create a creature. So you can just use this template, I would say, or guidelines, baselines, and then you can just build a creature. A chapter about role playing, arbitration, and solitary, and then prep is play. I like it. Sometimes people say, I haven't played solo. I have been trying, but I just create my character. I roll some tables. I create some background story and so on. This is already the game. This is part of the game. So preparation is play. I like it. This is a good sentence. And yeah, and there is also other suggestions here how to play solo, and very, very good suggestions. And then we have the oracles. So we have here the page number. So if you would like to search, okay, where is it, what is that, and so on. we can find it easily, but let's go through them. Question oracles, 2d6s. Then we have D20 table for action, descriptor, and theme. We also have narrative oracles for quest sparks and plot twists. I like it. And then some NPCs oracles. Then you can roll some names, reaction, number, scale, whatever. Ambition, species, role, and faction oracles. You can build factions here. And focus, leadership, everything regarding faction. Then civilization oracles, where we can roll settlement, name, some kind of trouble that's happening there. Very similar to the tables that we have in Forbidden Lands. So as they said at the beginning, it's inspired by Forbidden Lands also. Then we have the species and population there, the authority, how is the authority of that settlement, and dungeon oracle. So we can create the name, we can create place, descriptor, noun. So, and then even if you would like to draw it, you can even use it to draw like cave terrain, if it's a cave, or if it's a structure like an old temple or ruins of something, you can just use this as inspiration also. Just roll the dice and see, and then you can roll if there is a door or not, so you can just roll it also. So you can generate dungeon on the fly by using it, and you can even draw it. So it's very clever, very clever. And just some reward oracle that you can roll to see, okay, did I find something? Then just roll here and see what you have found. And then amazing art again. But this is actually like a suggestion of magic sword, the Burial's blade. So it does 10 damage plus d4 versus demon. There is like a flavor text here. Then the character sheet, very similar to Cairn, with just some modifications. Then the rule summary, and that's it. This is Plight. So Plight is free, as I said. I would like just to show you very briefly how my setup is here, because I played these. I play these not in group, as I said. So usually I like to play using physical dice, but I did build in Obsidian like a game table where I played it already once, and I would like just to share with you how it is, because I think it's really easy to use Obsidian to play this kind of game. When the game are simple, I think it's really easy. So I just put here the character sheet so one can see it. So I have here the character sheet. I have 3 characters. I deleted the data that I used to have here, but I have here the rule summary. If I need it, I have here. I have the character sheets. And the book, also not the book, but on the itch.io, they have the hack scroll page also that you can download and you can print it. And I put here the activities that I could do during the traveling. Here I have the terrain table, and I also got these hexes from the book. So if I could just put the stuff here as I do, and I put this dot here because I use this to represent my current position, and I like it. So yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, let me make it a little bit bigger. I just generate some stuff. Sometimes I put some text here, but actually I just delete this. But what I like to do is put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then A, B, C, D, F, G, H, and so on. Because when I find something interesting in a hex, I just try to create a note, or I can just use these location tables here and just number here. So I could just say, for instance, this is 1, and I put like 1 here, and I would say 1, and I can just note here. it depends. Sometimes I use these locations. Actually, I think last time for Plight, I did use these um, location tables that it also included in the files that are available for free on itch.io. And there is also these squared paper, should I say this, squared sheet for dungeons. So I have the table here. Actually, this one here I could just drag and use them to build something like this if I wish. But I also could just roll, and actually I forgot to put the dungeon one because I could just draw on top of these squares, and I could just draw whatever room I find. So yeah, so that's my setup, and I hope you like it. Just try yourself the system. I hope you like also the video, the explanations and so on. So if you have played Plight, please tell me in the comments, what do you think about this game? Do you like the armor rating rule? It's different from Cairn. Have you played it in solo? Have you played it in a group? Just tell me in the comments. If you haven't tried it, just try it. I hope I have put the link in the description. Just check by yourself. And that's it. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.